Beautiful, beautiful. What is it? Southern Saturday. The weekend, you already know. We right here. We decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals, see what's the talk of the town is going down. The word on the curve. You heard me. Let me just set this up real quick. Here in Southern California, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Nice and warm, clear skies. So, perfect weather to be out and about. Enjoying your weekend. Trying to see where the hell I left my charger. Yeah, well, look for that shit. Can never fucking find the shit where I leave it. Now, for those who are curious, I did drop a new video on this channel. Right, if you guys want to scope that out. And we still got the battle rap reactions on the other channel if you guys want to scope that out. Trying to see where the hell I left my goddamn charger. Try to look for my charger, but I don't know. I think I probably forgot it. We still good though. Let's see, what am I doing? Alrighty now. Good recent video. Oh, gracias, carnal. I appreciate it. Yeah, just a little my perspective, on situations and matters. I think people honestly antagonize individuals, right? They bait them into, confronting each other, right? Because they just want to see a show. But like I said, I'm not one to be, doped into fucking, entertaining people with bullshit. What's cracking like it, Angel? What you getting yourself into, carnal? Because obviously, people are gonna want to see conflict, so they're gonna try to egg people on, right? Was it peer pressure? But peer pressure don't work. I'm not one to be easily manipulated. I try not to take trolls seriously on the net, but sometimes they do piss me off. What else? I know. I don't know why. I just never. It never bothers me like that. Like probably because I more think about their perspective, trying to get to the understanding of why they're behaving in the manner that they're behaving. You get me? More than trying to more than letting that get to me. What up, Shadow? How you been? My sisters. So just finished. I had a long and tired. That's right, my boy. That's good. That's good. It was feed me or what? Hola. Tu quesadilla. De tortilla o de pan. ¿De cuál tipo? Are we talking the Mexican quesadillas or the Central American quesadillas? So I remember I was offered a quesadilla and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking over here like a tortilla with cheese, right? And they gave me this bread and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, a quesadilla. I'm like, they know quesadilla. Like, oh, well, that's what they're called in El Salvador. I'm just like, huh. I was like, interesting. It's the complete opposite of what we considered a quesadilla. Our GPS signal kept saying it was lost, so we had to keep routing it. Yeah, sometimes they be acting stupid. I feel you. All right, so it wasn't an area that you guys weren't too familiar with then. At work right now, how's work? Work so. That's right, my boy. You getting it in? That's good, carnal. Gotta work hard for the money. Shit, my bad. For what? No, it's all good, my boy. It's all good, my boy. We ain't tripping. It's all gravy. It's all to the gravy. Hi, hello there. But my sister finally got engaged. We also had some Indian food for Orale. That's right, my boy. I was about to say, wait, this early, but I forgot it's like later over there, no? Hola. ¿Cómo andamos? We had like 30 guests over. All right, so you guys had a pretty decent sized crowd. Shit, I said my bad. Okay. I am from Brazil. Well, shout out to Brazil. Um, but you're right. On the net, they behave like that because they want to bring you down like that. Yeah, bro. And like I said, bro, like on the net, anybody could say whatever they want, bro. You know, like anybody could behave however they want. Of course, people are gonna talk tough in the comfort of their home. You know. Um, but like I said, it's just literally a waste of time. Like you don't know the individuals. You know, you could be fucking states away from each other. Like, what does it really matter? You know, like why are you putting up this show, this waste of time for? Like I'm just not gonna argue with somebody if I just can't get to them. So you know, because that's just goofy, bro. Because that's literally a waste of time. Getting ready to drive back home is going to take. Damn, my boy, now damn. So you guys were a distance then, because that's far. Um, amigo. Um, claro, aquí todo está bien chingón. Mexican quesadillas. Oh, all right, Simon carnal with some fucking salsa de mocajete. Hey, bro, what do you think about the Fools community compa Raider crashing out on all of people? Did they? I don't know. I haven't watched their stuff, right? But I seen the stuff where the guy had went and he talked about Akon, the situation with Akon and his wife, which I have absolutely no idea of why that even got brought up or mentioned. Like it just made no sense to me. I'm just like what? Like why did people feel the need to share that information though? Like I didn't get that shit at all. Like or why Raider even wanted to hear that type of information. Like for what? You know what I mean? Like that shit just doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? So like like I wouldn't ask for that or put that out there. You know what I mean? Like I because like I don't know. Because like what does any of that have to do with anything or matter or why should it matter to anybody? Sir, please don't crash into me and scam me. I'm poor. Oh, we're poor too, bro. So we on the same boat. And I'm not driving. I'm parked. I'm on my lunch break. You might get fired. Why would you get fired? Woof woof. Meow meow. Bro, there's a fine girl like I don't know her name and see her much. Any advice on how to score her? Just be yourself, bro. Slowly get to talk to her and you know get to know her, but without trying so hard. Though you get what I mean. You gotta approach them confident, right? But at the same time, not trying to smother them. You know, just respectful. And if you could be a little, funny, that doesn't hurt, as well. But here's the bigger question, though. Um, why else do you find her appealing to you? If we just remove the looks, if we just take out the looks of things, though, there has to be, other pieces on why, because you just can't base your decision just on looks, because like that, it never works. What are your thoughts on fools who drive luxury cars like Lamborghinis but still get active in their neighborhoods? I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to prove. You know, at this point, if you have Lamborghinis already, then you should be doing, you know, bigger and better things. Like why are you risking it all? You know, just to be back in the same situation, just to be back at the bottom though. That doesn't make any sense. You know, and no OG would give that as an advice. You know, people want to see people, you know, become bigger and better things. Especially because if you do, you know, it does actually help more individuals that way, right? You know, maybe you can now hook up individuals with Haile, and you know what I'm saying? Do you like tamales? Oh, my boy, do I like tamales? My boy, that's in my DNA. I love tamales. Now, finding a good tamal is actually quite difficult, but I love tamales. All kinds of tamales. Verdes, de res, puerco, de mole. Oh, sí, hasta de mole hay. Los de dulce. Lo que caiga. Do you think Swifty Blue is fake for dissing people on the internet and rap songs, but not pulling up? Now, on rap songs, it's understandable, right? Because that's a part of the rap game, right? Trying to antagonize somebody to get at their response of a battle rap, you know, a lyrical duel between you guys, right? Competition. I mean, it's the same thing with, you know, any sports as well, right? When people, you know, athletes call out other athletes, right? You know, with the shit talking, you know what I mean? It's a part of being competitive, right? Now, as for dissing just people on the internet, just like, you know, him just being on the internet and just dissing people, yeah, I don't know. That's just for attention. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, that's the only reason why, right? For attention, just to get views. That's the only reason why it's done. Hey, but whatever works for him, you know, I just don't think that that's actually a good way to be approaching your uh your status, right? Or building up your status. That's not the it's not the best way, right, to go about things. But hey, what do I know? You think Swifty Blue is a weenie who puts in no work? Some people say that on YouTube. See, now people could say that on YouTube, right? But the thing is that I don't know Swifty Blue. I'm not from his neighborhood. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be able to tell you if he's actually a weenie or if he's actually down for his shit. You know, I don't know. I don't know the individual. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be so reckless, you know, to come on here and to be, you know, insulting the individual with actually having no facts. You know, that's just not how I get down. You know, I don't understand why people do that. Like people call him a weenie, like if they actually know the individual, like if they've been with him and they've seen him rank it, right? Like if you don't have that information, then you just can't say that a person's a weenie. Now you could think it, right? And you can give your opinion, right? But your speculations are not facts, though. You know, although you may think this, I mean, is not the actual truth, right? Um, Now, if I was to be with him and actually see it, right, then it would be a different story. Then I can actually give my opinion on the matter, right? But I don't know him like that, so I wouldn't be able to, you know, come and say, right? That's just not my get down. Yeah, in that video, they called out Lady Pinks, Jenny 69, Blue Devil. Oh, damn, they did all that. Well, Lady Pinks, I can see why they would call her out because she does talk a lot of smack. Why Jenny 69 though? what what has she done? Blue Devil, I guess the Blue Devil's understandable, right? Because he reacts to other people, and you know he does, you know, come aggressive, right? So I can see why they would try to, you know, go back at him. Negra, I don't understand why they would bring up Negra, right? And Icon, I could, I guess, see, you know, why they would say something about him because of apparently the guy they used to work together, so there's already a dysfunction or they already had some issues, right? So a personal matter, right? So but like I said, I just don't understand why they would put that stuff out there though. Like if you guys were homies and all that, then okay, then you should have communication and be able to tap in with them, right? So like if you really felt this way, then you could have just got at him and not just put it out there for, you know, for what? For views? You know? Like if this information is damaging or something like that, like well that's their personal life, you know what I mean? Like, why throw that out there? Like, what was that gonna do? Jay tapped the ass. Physically, or you, or are you puro streaming now? No, I still do. I do both. I still do both. Thanks again. I appreciate it, but the girl is kind of way out of my league. Plus, her friends don't like me. Well, see, the thing is that you can't say that somebody's out of your league if you have never tried. If you have never attempted to get at this person, right? You won't know that they're out of your league until you at least try. You should always have confidence in yourself. You should never think that somebody's, you know, um, out of your league. You get me? Because truly, I mean, we're all the same at the end of the day. Nobody's better than nobody else. You know, because you never know, my boy. You never know. Just gotta have confidence. And as for her friends not liking you, I mean, that doesn't make no difference. I mean, like, what do her friends have to do with you guys? And at the end of the day, I mean, if she likes what she likes, I mean, she's not gonna give a fuck about what her friends say or what they think. Especially women, that's how they get down. And if you get shot down, that's nothing to worry about either, bro. Because, like I said, there's plenty of other women in this world, right? She just wasn't the one. But to think that you shouldn't feel down on it. Getting mad, but it was and the person that were I feel you. Man, the ghetto bird is just buzzing over here right now, man. What the fuck happened? That she's just having everything shaking. Just start being friends with her and see where it goes from with the girl. Yeah, yeah. You always want to, not come too strong. Like slowly, get to know her first, bro. Because women are aware of how men are, right? So if you come too strong, they're gonna think that you're just after one thing and one thing only, right? And you're gonna get shut down real quick, when you come like that. You know, I'm pretty sure they heard it all before. But at least if they now show that you actually care and you're actually, there and listening, then that in itself creates something bigger. Little by little. Because despite what other men want to say, right, like, brag about, like, yeah, man, I spit some game to this bitch, man, and then, man, that night I had her in the motel already, and I was slamming that, bro. And it's like, yeah, that's probably not a girl that you actually want to, uh, create a relationship with. If it was easy like that, right? You want a woman to respect herself, you know, because nobody wants a woman that doesn't respect herself, bro. Because if they don't have respect for themselves, then how do they expect the world to give them respect if they themselves don't even give themselves respect? Right? If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect the world to respect you? You know what I mean? Because remember, there's bigger things than sleeping with a girl, right? It's actually building the bond and the connection there. As cheesy as they may sound, but that's actually how you build a relationship. Because the other way is just only done to brag to get other men's approval, to satisfy other men, to get other men's praise. That's the only reason why it's done, which is kind of strange to me, but it is what it is. I came back from seeing the new Final Destination movie just. And tomorrow I'm going to see the new Mission Impossible. Oh shit, the Mission Impossible is already coming out. Orale. Yeah, the Final Destination movies are good. It's just are good shit. Serious question. Why do grown men call each other my boy? It's just like, like when people say bro or homie or what's up dog or, you know what I mean? That's just or, how some other people say my ninja, but you know what I mean. Um, just it's part of the lingo though. It's more of habit if anything. But it's like you're showing that person like respect, Like what up, my boy? Like it's a respectful thing. Or hello there, pal, or you know what I mean? I don't know. People use different shits. What's crazy lacking, Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? This is my favorite Mexican Trump supporter. That was it. My favorite Mexican Trump supporter. So todo, carnal. Man, we don't like no Trump around here. Now, if you like Trump, that's okay. I don't got nothing against people that support Trump. That's just not my, you know, I'm just not down with that individual. But if you're down with him, it's all gravy, I'm not one of these people that be like, man, fuck you. Like, why, bro? They can vote for whoever the fuck they want, bro. You worry about you. Hit the like and subscribe to the. Oh, gracias. How do you when handling issues in college or at work or at any uh, professional environment? Sometimes pride gets the best of us. Oh, you mean like when you're beefing it with somebody, bro? You know what? To be honest with you, I could come and give you like advice, right? But um, I mean, who are we kidding? I have not handled situations at work the best way. I have always handled them the worst ways. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't stupid enough to actually do it at the work, right? But we did it you know in the facility, right? We handled our business. Um, and like I said, it's just like it's very hard if I'm in person, right? And my temper gets the best of me. It is very hard to control myself, right? I guess I can understand when I'm when I'm mellowed out and I could think straight, right? I know the reasons. I'm reasonable and stuff like that. But when I'm mad, it's just like all of that flies out the window. So I'm just not trying to hear none of that. So I would be lying if I was to say that. Oh, you gotta handle that. Especially if I know that someone's actually trying to disrespect me. It's like see, the thing with me is that I don't like the talking, right? Or the show, the fiasco that people put on, like fuck you, no fuck you, no fuck you. And if you tell me fuck you once, then we're just handling business. I'm not gonna do the fuck you, no fuck you, no. If by you already saying fuck you, then that already lets me know that you have issues with me, right? And that there is now no point of talking or doing back and forth, right? So okay, you just like me, so we're gonna handle business, right? At this point, there's no need for no more words to come out, right? So after that, it's just now don't be like that. That's what I'm trying to change about myself. That's why we seek therapy and everything like that. That's what we're trying to change, right? So don't be like that because it's not the good way. It's not a good way of living. Because if there's one thing I could change about myself, it would definitely be that. With no doubt in my mind. you know, because I hate that I react like that. Some people, all their rivals, they say stuff like, the gays and weenies and shit. I know. It's crazy, put out conejos now put Compas kids in the mix, and at the end said, "Don't call the police." Not being a G. That's my thought. It's crazy how many put out. Did she? I don't know. I haven't seen the. I haven't like seen the videos of them, or their replies or nothing like that, right? So I don't know the situation. I would have to scope it out, and then see what's up. But yeah, like I said, just doing all of that stuff is just. I mean, it's no bueno. And I made a video talking about that earlier. So it could relate to this subject too, as well, right? Like, just because somebody comes at you a certain way doesn't mean that you should go at them the same way that they came at you, right? Like, you still hold yourself to your morals and your standards. Like, you don't now stoop to their levels, right? Because it's like, well, if you dislike these individuals, or if you're pointing out, these individuals for being, lames because of what they did, right? Then that doesn't now give you the right to now behave just like them. Because if that's the case, then you are now all the things that you are pointing out on them, right? Now you just become just like them if you now do what they do. You still gotta hold yourself to your same standards. Like, you can insult me and my whatever, my kids and all that, but I'm still keeping this between me and you, because that's just what it is about, just me and you. Because I know your family and all that got nothing to do with nothing. So even though they're insulting everything, it's just like, nah, what? It's staying just between me and you, though. I'm not gonna stoop to your level just because you're a piece of shit of a person. You know what I mean? Just because you're a lame doesn't mean I'm gonna, now stoop to, your lame tactics. Because that doesn't give you the right. Just because somebody now insults your family doesn't give you the right now to insult theirs, real. Like, you have to show them that you're better than them. You have to hold yourself to higher standards, higher class. How much money do you have? I'm broke as a joke, bro. We got no money, zero. I know he gets down. Yeah, but you should never respect the person for getting down, though. You know what I mean? You should not respect the person for that reason. That's actually the reasons why I don't tell none of the stories and nothing like that. Like, none of my tales and stuff like that, because I don't want to see me, or I don't want respect for those things, right? I don't want to be respected for those reasons. I don't go streaming. I prefer only the physical copy of paying subscription and ticket. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you, bro. I'm the same way. You hold more. It holds more value when you actually have the physical, item. You know what I mean? What do you like? Sports? Oh, I love sports. Basketball's my shit. Basketball's number one, and it's not even close. Then it'll be football. Then it's baseball. Then it's like soccer. Then it'll be like hockey. But basketball is like ahead of all those sports, though, by like a lot. It's not even close. I love basketball. And of course, it's Lakers all day, baby. Nah, but we're fans of the whole entire sport in itself, right? Even the players, even though they're on different teams. There's a lot of great athletes out there. Especially nowadays, there's a lot of talent out there. A lot of talent. Now, I wouldn't say it's one of the most talented eras, but there is a lot of talent, though. 99% of YouTube is gossip and hate towards other channels. That is facts, bro. That is facts. You know. And despite what people, say in comments and everything like that, it'd be the bigger channels that actually do the most hating out of anybody, right? Even though they always play the victims, right? And I don't just mean with like the prison genre, right? Because you see that type of shit happening with other, genres too, like sports genres, shit, even in the educational ones, right? I be Sometimes it just blows my mind. I'm just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's a trip. But yeah, it'd be some of the bigger channels too that be acting like that, right? But then if people call them out on it, then they, get into their feelings and, you know, want to act like they're the victims, right? And then, since their channels are big, they have all their subscribers that, be right there defending them because of the size of their channels. Like if the size of the channel somehow makes them automatically right, when that's not how it works. You may pull in more viewers and more subscribers, but just because you have more viewers and subscribers doesn't mean that you're right, though. Just like somebody that has a lot of money doesn't mean that he can be wrong when he's debating with a broke person. That's just not how it works. You can still be wrong. Don't think just because you're bigger or you have more that you can't be wrong about some things, or that this person who has less than you can't teach you something. Shit, even a broke person could teach you something. A poor, even a homeless person could teach you something, right? I guarantee you, there's probably something that he knows that you don't know, right? Somebody in this world, you can learn stuff from anybody. Don't humble yourself. Don't ever think that you're that, like that one. But a lot of people have a hard time being able to deal with, fame and find, like riches like that, right? They let it go straight to their egos and heads. That humble person they used to be is no longer, there. Yep, you're right. But your channel's like, yeah, it's funny. But that's social media. It's just the way that it's played. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys.